one of the things I wanted to say too is that these are stories now. The book has only been out for about a month or so. Excuse me. So these are stories that I've read over the past couple of weeks and have been taking notes on them and that sort of thing. One of the things I really noticed about it, about the sort of, I was trying to think in my head, how do these all kind of feel, that sort of thing. And it had a very, the stories have a very, and this is a bit of an overstatement, but they have a very, I would call, anthropological feel about them, in the sense that they felt like someone like super objectively looking at something without making a judgment about it, without making a comment about it, without drawing the reader to draw some lesson from it or anything like that. It felt like something was presented and just left there like that. Is that something that you're conscious of in your writing or as a personal characteristic, or am I way off base there on that?
I don't know if that's a conscious urge on my part, but if that's the way you see it, I'm glad it turned out that way. I think we both know how terrible fiction can be when you attempt to insert some kind of theme, or a piece becomes political. Maybe all pieces are political these days, but yeah, I'm glad that that's how you experienced it, because that sounds pretty pure to me.
Yeah, no, and me too. And it made me think earlier, made me think just in the last couple of days as I was putting my notes together. There's a great, I think it's a short novel published, I don't know, sometime in the 70s or 80s by a writer named Ray Smith called Lord Nelson Tavern. And in that story, one of his characters, they talk about fiction and things like that. And I always remember this line. Someone says about, I think they're talking about Jane Austen, and they're thinking, Jane Austen, how is that relevant to today, kind of thing. And the retort on the part of the person in support of that was, because, and here's the quote, it was closely observed and accurately rendered. And I thought, and that's how I felt about your stories. I felt that things were observed extremely closely. And this is everything from, grand life to down to what happens when you take a sledgehammer to a Ferris wheel, kind of thing. Like very small to the very large. They were very closely observed and accurately rendered. And does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the direction any writer would want to go with that. That sounds good.